Gloomy day. A bit of rain this morning. Getting into the worst season of all, winter. But finished up my Jenny, whatever. We can repurpose this fence material that we got from Kevin and Jamie over at O'Rourke's Littlefield. Thank you once again. So hopefully we'll be able to get this unspooled, because it's a lot of pieces all in one. It's a lot more than your standard just spool. So we can go ahead and start running some wire across for our fence that I've already showed y'all. Welcome back to the journey, folks. So yeah, we've talked about we're taking the trailer to my mom's for the holidays, because one, we're going there for the holidays, but two, the purpose for the trip is to also be able to bring stuff back, i.e. Furniture or boxes, you know, stuff that they have ready to move, and things to that nature, right? Yes, the house is not finished yet, but we can't officially move in to the house until keys have been turned over to us. So until that time comes, we'll let y'all know. We're still continuing to work on electric, water, and sewer. Some of those things aren't going to happen until after we get back, because it's holidays time, right? But I did want to bring you guys along on the trailer, because we need to do some maintenance on this and a couple of repairs, and I just want to show you what all needs to be done. All right, so inside of our battery box, which this battery actually needs to be taken out, it had screws in here. Well, at one point in time, this actually had a block, or it's like a foam insert that was in here, and it stopped this battery from hitting those screws, because I used what I had at the time. And I probably should have just went to the store and actually bought something, because if you look and see, that block came out and those screws like destroyed this battery. So I don't even think it's going to be good anymore. Once I get it out, I'll inspect it a little closer. But that's one. I'm going to go ahead and replace these screws with some through bolts, because I still want to be able to utilize the studs on the outside for the winch. Right, and then we also have, you know, the connections for like a solar panel or a battery charger, right? So, and I also need to figure out what happened to the lid. I don't know what I did with the lid, but anyway, that's one of the things we're going to be working on. This is a recycled battery box, because it did have other stuff on there that I took it off. And then I also need to get this opened up, make sure that there's no water in there, and then my breakaway switch actually needs to be replaced. So, which I might actually look, because I want to, before I replace this, I do have another piece that can go in, or I can just take the piece from the new one to put in here, because I'm going to check to see if this still works, because I need to inspect the brakes. So that means I need to take off the tires and get the battery fixed right first, and then I want to test the brakes, right? And then after that, I'm also going to pop open the caps to the bearings, just make sure that the bearings aren't holding water, any of those things. All the tires are new, but I'm also going to check all the air pressures. I'm actually missing a cap off this valve stem, so I'll put a cap on that. And then I also need to fix some of the wood in the back, just to make it to where it's not wanting to move around and bounce out, hit a car behind us, right? That wouldn't be good. And then lights, these lights, also we broke some of the lensing on them. We just have some little red plastic type stuff that we can kind of repair these with until we're able to get new lights. But I'm also going to test lights, just make sure all the lights and stuff are good to go, that they are working, right? Same thing on this side. So Yeah, it is what it is. And then at some point too, I think this one is going to come out, and then we're going to go get some more wood that's tall like this. We have some more scrap and stuff up in the front. That way we can, because we need to have some railings up a little bit higher, you know, at least 2 to 3 feet. That way we're able to get boxes and stuff put in here. We're not worried about boxes flying off, right? So that's what we're going to be working on today. Hopefully the rain holds off for a little bit. We'll see what happens. And of course, the second I say rain and hopefully it holds off, it starts to rain. All right, well, back inside. Good old crescent hammer. Just gonna continue getting everything off of this. That way I can pull this battery out and update the hardware on these studs. Not left-handed, folks. I'm gonna switch the sides. Y'all come over here, and I'm gonna go to the other side. So I hate using the nuts that have the nylon in them, because you have to back it out the entire way. Battery system, you're not technically supposed to use them, at least per the military standard, right? It's supposed to be a flat washer and a lock washer. And then it also makes it much easier to take off, because once that lock washer is no longer locking, then the rest of the hardware just basically comes off by hand. But not this. And you probably also did not know, or you might know, you can leave me a comment down below, but these nylon nuts, or the nuts that have the nylon piece in them, one-time use. You're not supposed to use them again after you've removed them. All right, let's get this battery out here. Yep, that definitely has holes all the way through. Probably a 2013 battery. I know I've had it for quite some time. Normally the last number of the serial number over here is the date. And I know I've had it longer than 2023. So that means the next date will be 2013. Well, someone put a winch right in the way of my battery box. How rude. Oh, I guess it was me and Dad. That's Okay, I'm going to continue to look for hardware for that, but in the meantime, what I can do is go ahead and open this, make sure that there's no water in here. I'm going to go get the other part for this, and then I'm just going to grab the battery out of my truck for now, I think. I don't know if Dad has a battery over here charged, but to be able to put it in here, get this box, everything connected to the battery, and then I'll go ahead and check brakes. Got a bent screw.
Yeah. Can you get a video?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. There's me over here.
Nice and dry, just the way I like it to be. Let's see if this will fit into this. It looks like it's a different key. It is. So definitely gonna have to take this off and go ahead and redo these, but I don't want to have to redo this one. I have smaller, so I'll just go ahead and cut my blue wire here. That way I can splice that in, and then I'll cut my blue wire here. That way I'll just get rid of this splice altogether. Ugly wire. Don't need no critters. Don't need no critter nest. Get out of there. busted screw. I need to find another screw. All right, I'm gonna try this battery. I'm not 100% certain if this is good or not. So this one that was in, or that we're using to test my buddy side by side. And I would think that if it's strong enough to turn that over, that it should be strong enough to test some brakes. So I'm not going to worry about hooking this up just yet. But I could also break out my multimeter, I guess, and see if there's even any power on this. And the battery's only 2 years old. Well, sitting at 12.5. That's volts. Doesn't necessarily mean that it has amps stored in the battery. But anyway, we will see. I mean, even pulling this out, I should even be able to hear the brakes. I'm going to take the tires off just to check. But I should be able to hear the brakes engage. I can kind of hear it. Actually, the sun's getting pretty low in the sky. I know the kiddo's already home from school, so I know it's past 3:30. But actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the brakes tomorrow. I'll leave this the way that it is. I will go ahead, we'll check some grease to see if I need to redo that tomorrow. If anything, I just need to put some more grease in, right? Just pull off the rubber caps, pull and all that, and get some grease back into the grease gun. And then I think I'll go ahead and throw some screws into the wood back here too. I can do that today before the sun goes down any further. There we go. Oh, it doesn't look that bad. This one no longer has the little rubber portion that covers your nipple. Yep, that one doesn't look bad either. I'll definitely squeeze some more grease in there tomorrow though. And all of them. Yep. There's our culprit. This one has water intrusion, so all the rest of them are black. See how that one's brown? So this one needs to be taken off. And so we'll take this wheel off. We'll inspect the bearings, make sure that they're still good, and then go back through and repack it, because that's not good. That's bad. You don't want to see that. So 1 out of 4 ain't bad, I guess. All right, let's go grab some hardware and we'll reattach this wood to the back. All right, so I think that's going to be it for today. So I will see y'all here in a couple seconds. I'll come back in the morning. Plus tomorrow we're not supposed to have any rain. So plus I'm still out here going to be doing this by myself because Dad's going in for his surgery to get the rest of his teeth that's been bothering him knocked out. So, and right before the holidays, never fun. So definitely keep them in your thoughts, please, because we get to go to Christmas dinner and do all those things with well, he gets to go to Christmas dinner with no teeth, so that's never fun. And I'm right behind him because I've already got a couple more teeth that I need to get out myself. So, yep, it is what it is. Anyway, see you in the morning. That's how we can tell we had a lot of rain. All the mud just washes right down, coming down the hill. And trim guys are here. Well, one of them's here, the other one's still on the way, getting set up. They're going to start doing all the trim work on the inside, getting doors in, getting all the stuff to where both houses come together. So we'll definitely be getting over there to show you guys, you know, how that's going and things, and also like all the siding and stuff on the ends. All right, exciting. So let's get back to working on this trailer. Good old GoPro batteries. I love it. Oh, Jesus. One of these days I'll get another impact. So I have a brand new impact for the air compressor, but it's broken. Like, I've never even used it. Doesn't even work. There's always one. But it's coming off. And knock on wood, it's not breaking my stud. Of course, I probably should say that once I got it off. Because I'm not done yet. One way that I can check my brake, obviously, is, well, I need to get in the back side of this. Now, I am going to open this up. That way I can see the back seal to make sure that that's not where my water intrusion is coming from, which more than likely is. And but I do also want to open this up. I just want to inspect the brakes since I'm having to look at all this one anyway because I have water intrusion. This will be one of the good candidates to check. You know, just make sure that the brakes are working. So let me go pull the pin to activate the brake, and then let me see if I can still turn this by hand. Okay. So I'm trying to turn it and I can't. So that lets me know that my brakes are working. So let me go put that pin back in, and that's good. We'll be able to use this battery for the trip. Yeah. Now my brakes have somewhat freed up. There they goes. All right, so before cracking this open and re-greasing this one, or showing you basically what I do, right? Because I've already done this side. I did this side earlier this morning. I didn't even record it, but so that's a new grease in that bearing, new grease in that bearing. Right, even had some, because I like to put in enough to where it squeezes out, and you start seeing some of the new grease come through, and you just scoop that out, put it into a used bucket. Right, you can either dispose of it or use it for other things, right? Because that grease, Dad actually likes using the used grease like that for like tires, right? If you're putting tires back, like we've done it on the Lil Mac, on a little Kubota several times, right? Where you take some of the old grease and you just put it around, you clean up the bead of the tire, and then it helps it with sealing and keeping all the dirt and stuff out. So yeah, anyway, let's go check and see the progress of the house, and then we'll come back to the trailer. Oh, I almost forgot my coffee. Can't forget coffee. That's lifeblood right there. Gotta have that. So obviously we had a whole bunch of rain come through last night, right? And I told the guy that was in the red truck, I was like, this stuff gets slick. They said that he had this guy coming, and he's like, yeah, this other truck has more city tires on it. I was like, well, we got stuff here, we could pull them out, I guess. But now the Jeep's not here, so because Dad went to his appointment, Mom and Dad. So, but anyway, I know that truck can pull them out if needed, even though it is a GMC and not a Ram. But let's come peek into the door, see what we see. Okay, right now they've been working inside, doing a lot of work, and we did have a few repairs that needed to be done. Like one drywall that was like in this closet, our closet, Gladys and I's closet, had a big crack in it, so they're gonna fix that. A cabinet, right? And this is all stuff that is known, things to happen during transport. Hey, you're moving a house over the road and come down dirt roads or anything like that. There's bound to be, some things happen. So it doesn't matter how well it's built, right? But I poked my head in there, and a lot of stuff. I don't want to walk in there, right? Because right now I have mud on my boots, right? Because it's very muddy around here, and not trying to track mud into the house, right? And trying to stay out of the way. But yeah, once I see some stuff going on with things that they're doing, then we'll bring it back. But looking good, looking good. Touch up paints, doing the different things like that, right? So I've also dug the trench in preparations for the wire, so now it's full of water. Yeah, I know, but that wire too we still have to buy, so we haven't got it yet. The breaker's available. We got that text this morning saying that the breaker came in, so I should be able to go pick that up. But now I gotta wait for the Jeep to come back, so we might go grab that tomorrow. All right, let's get back over to this trailer. All right, so now I got me something to sit on, and got my glove, just so I can go ahead and get this off. Well, to do this, I actually need to get this cleaned out. So I already got my cap off, and you just gotta be careful with those because these are fairly thin metal. You can't damage this. You can see that this one's already got a big old dent in it. And I'm also gonna clean this out to get all that nasty brown grease out of there. So depending on the grease that you're using, right, is gonna have different colors. So just know whatever you're using, if it gets immersed in water, right, it's going to change color. Or if it looks like a creamy color, it just grease that gets water in it. It's just grease with water in it, I guess. All right, so this one actually has, this is your castle nut. Now to get this off, either it's going to have one of two things. It's either going to have a cotter pin, like what mine has, or you'll have like a flat disc type thing that goes over, and it kind of interlocks with your castle nut and with the threads of your shaft, right? So normally you can just pry that off, right? Cotter pins, I mean, you can reuse them. Try to put a new one in there if you can. But if you don't break it and it still looks okay. Owie. Owie. Should be able to grab that now. Yeah, just look it over, make sure it's not broken, because you do not want that castle nut to come loose, because a lot of times this is just hand tight. It should not be tight on there at all. Okay, just barely on there. I still have a lot of gunk in my threads, so doesn't necessarily want to turn by hand. And I'm all out of shop towels because with the rain come through, well, that last storm that we had, big storm that destroyed my tent, and my shop towels got completely soaking wet, along with everything else that I had in there. Table saw, drill press, a lot of the other yummy goodness things. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through probably off camera, and I'm gonna clean this up a little better, and just get all that nastiness out of there. But now that is off, okay, you should be able to pull this off. Just be careful, there is a washer right here along with a bearing, so you just don't want it to fall and go somewhere. So now that you got that off, you can set this off to the side. But that's where your rear sill is going to be. Okay, so I'm just going to look at that really closely. I'll get everything cleaned up. I mean, it doesn't even look that bad, but still got water in there somehow. So I'm gonna go through and check this out, because since I've owned this trailer, which I actually got this from a family friend, is a guy that my dad went to school with, Billy, and we've been over, so you can always go check out some of our older videos. We went to his boat, so him and his wife live on a boat, and now they just travel around and do stuff. It's pretty cool, and yeah. You can go check out. We went and did some installation work with them down in the engine compartment. Pretty cool. But that's who I got this trailer from. And he told me, you know, that it had all new tires, had all new bearings, it had all this, all that. And I was like, all right, cool. So that's why I wasn't worried about checking it, right? But now that I've had it for a few years, you know, we got this right before we left Virginia. So now we've used it. Dad's used it. And I want to check it before going on. So normally if you're going to go on any type of major road, you know, adventure or whatnot with a trailer to where you know you're going long distance with carrying stuff, always come in and check your brakes, check your bearings, check your grease, check your lights, all those things, right? Which we still have to fix lights. It's just going to be a temporary fix until we can get new ones, but I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So, well, as I come in here, I can see that my dark grease in the back, right? I didn't have water come to the back, so that grease is still, it's not emulsified, so it's still this regular color. And then here in the front is where it's gotten water intrusion. So to me, that's telling me that the front sill is what was allowing the water to come in, and it never really went past that. Okay, so it did not get to the back, so that's good. I don't necessarily need to worry about the back sill, but I'll go, you can pull out your bearing, right? Take a look at all that. I'll get all that cleaned up. And I might need to get a new cap, which I don't know. Because this should really stop a lot of the water from going in. And it looks fine. So, but they still got water in there somehow. All right. Well, let me get all this cleaned up and then I'll bring it back. And if you want to look at your brakes just to see what all that's doing, right, this is your magnet down the bottom. So this is what attaches itself to the brake drum. And that's what pushes, right, your plates. So you can just kind of go through there, inspect all that, make sure all the springs and stuff are good. Look at the wear of your plates. And those actually look really, really good. You can tell they're still basically brand new. So, but all right, and we know they worked because we tested them. So it's just the water with the grease. All right, be right back. Okay, so everything's back together. Got it all fairly cleaned out. So now it's to load it back up with grease. It's probably going to take quite a bit because I emptied almost all of it out. That's fine. If I run out with this one, I have another tube. Okay, and it's still going to push out some of that old grease because I didn't get it out completely. But as that comes out, right, and I can see that it's mixed in already with my new grease. So just scrape it out, put it into your used container. Then I get it to where it's about there. I just got grease on my camera. Right, and then that also, because this grease that squeezes out a little bit is also what's right here where your cap is, and that's what kind of helps with keeping the water out, right? If your cap is allowing water to come in. That out, clean up the excess. Good to go. So I still gotta put grease in the one tire behind y'all. So this one here, I don't need to worry about taking this off. So I'm pretty happy that I already know what the brakes look like because all the brakes got replaced at the same time. right? And this one I can tell hasn't had water in there, so I don't need to worry about my rear seal. And that's why I wanted to open this one so I can see, right, the rear seal. And I can tell that it was all coming from the front. So just pack in new grease. And I can tell this one needed it. Just keep letting that grease come out. You're pushing out all that old grease, and you can see that it'll start to mix in with some of your new grease. It'll be different colors. So this is green whenever it goes in, and a lot of times whenever it does start to get old, it will turn this darker color. All right. Right there. Get my cap. I actually had to steal a lug nut from my spare because that one I was having issues with, it's just all really buggered up. So before I can actually fix the lights, I need to find some more packing tape. Glad I said used up all of the tape, because it's just going to be a temporary fix using some red plastic. That's basically what I have available until we can get some more lights. But I do want to go around and torque, make sure that all the wheels and the lug nuts and stuff are torqued. So normally for this trailer, that's between 90 to 120 foot-pound, right? What that should be. So I'm gonna go ahead and break out the big boy. Let's get these lug nuts torqued up. All right, story of my life. My battery's dying on the camera, and a lot of times when that happens, I just use my phone. But my phone was also dead earlier, so I had no camera, had no phone, so I was like, dang it. Well, it is what it is. But I did get this done. So I ended up doing a lot of this off camera, obviously, but 100% done. All the lights are fixed. So let's go around. I even show you what I did to fix the lights. So you know that plastic that you can get from a home center, like Home Depot, Lowe's, the stuff that you put on the back of your trailer, like to be like a safety flag. Well, that's what that is. That and tape. So I got that on that side. Got this one all taped up. That one all taped up. So at least it's red in color and it will not show the white light. But went to go start the truck to get over here to test the lights. That way I can pull up here. This thing's gonna need a new starter. So it needs the starter and the little fuel regulator piece that regulates the voltage going to the fuel pump, right? That's the part that is intermittently bad. From what I gather, right, from troubleshooting and what I've read online and just going through a lot of things, they always say, you know, deal with that part first, because it has a way that you can short it out and it just sends 100% voltage to the fuel pump. And I've done that, and I've let the truck run. I didn't drive it around, but I let the truck run. Didn't have any issues whatsoever with, because it always goes into a fuel fault. So didn't have any issues from times I've done that. And then whenever I plug it back in, let it run, even at idle, it'll fault out. And then obviously driving it around, it'll fault out. But now it has an issue with the starter, and then you got to get down there and smack it with a hammer to get it to release. That way it will start. But didn't feel like doing that today. So yep, so that now I need 2 parts for the truck. But trailer's done. That's good to go. And I can also flip you around. I know I haven't been over here that much over at the house as they've been going through, but the biggest project for me today was getting that done, because we're taking that with to Mom's. And then you can probably also see on the back of Dad's truck, there's no longer a tank there. So I was also able to get that out. And with Dad recovering from getting teeth pulled, I've did that by myself. So that was a chore. And I probably need to go to the doctor myself, because I jammed my thumb on my primary hand, my right hand, about 4 days ago. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh, I just jammed it. But yeah, I might have broken it. I don't know, because 4 days later, and like I still can't do that without pain. So, but they got some siding up, so that's exciting, right? Exciting to see siding. So they got that going on that side, and about like halfway on the other side. But I'll still come over here and show you. So yes, obviously this video was supposed to be Wednesday's video, but whenever they're coming out to do this and the things that I'm doing is actually on Wednesday, which is today as I'm recording, right? We got siding on this side. Obviously it's not coming out Wednesday, so you guys are now watching it Friday, more than likely. Hopefully it came out by then. And then over here, I don't even know if you can see, but can you see in there? Kinda. I don't, because right now I have to be able to, because these doors are locked, so there's ways to get in, but I'm not gonna do that currently. But they've got the trim on the inside. Put you right up against the glass so we can try to get rid of the glare. But they got the trim where the 2 houses connect on the inside, so that's nice. And I know that they've been working in the bedrooms and stuff like that too, but I'll get you an update on that. Don't worry, it'll come out on the next video. You guys will be able to see it. So like I said, I just wanted to mainly stay out of their way. That way they can come over here and get what they need to do done and whatnot. And they actually have another project that they have to take care of tomorrow. And then they'll be back to finish this Friday. So that's good. That's good. And then And another thing, we had someone call us today. I can also talk about that. So let me get you flipped around. Got paint, shows an arrow going that way. And then as you walk over here, another piece of paint, because that's showing going around our utility. That's what I asked them to do. And then another one here. And then another arrow here. Right? So what that's going to mean is piece of conduit will be coming out of the ground right here. Coming up, there's going to be a box mounted right here on the right side of the door. What could it be? Drum roll. Fiber! Yay! So here, hopefully in about a week or two, it'll probably be after Christmas. They're going to come in because they actually have to go all the way from the other side of the street. All right, they're gonna have to bring it overhead on the poles, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 poles, and each one of those poles is about 400 something feet apart, right? Because they were set before they changed everything. So now the max distance that they can put poles is like 220 feet or something like that. 240 feet, I don't know. But before you could do 400, like 400 something feet, right? That's what it used to could. And now they've changed that to where they can't span as far, right? It's just a way so they can get more money, right, by setting more poles. But anyway, and that's even the guy that was here, that he said the exact same thing. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So with that, they're going to be bringing in the fiber that comes in. So it basically the outside stuff will be first, right? So they're going to get it all the way to the house and get it attached to the back side of the house, and that's just outside, right? And then from there, it'll be probably like a week or 2 weeks after that, another person will come in, and then we'll be able to attach the router, like all that stuff on the inside, right? And by then, hopefully we'll have our power and all that already connected, so that way we can just turn it straight on and boom, we'll have high-speed interwebs. Cool. And I want to look into, I know Mike over at Washita Mountain, Dog Man, right, was talking about a package thing, is like a outside patio package or something. I haven't heard anything about that, but I guess it's a Wi-Fi extender that goes outside. That way you're able to get Wi-Fi from your fiber even outside, right? And it extends it. You don't have to be just inside the house. Yes, I want that. So I definitely want to look into that as well, to say, hey, what's this going to be? So yeah, cool. And basically every place that we have a pole that has a transformer, they can tap into that line to put a drop in for other boxes. So if I want to run fiber into other buildings that we're going to have up in this area, or even up front for the cabins that we're doing up there, same thing, right? They've said that they can put in other drops, and I was like, yay, cool. So I'll leave that up to the parents. If they want fiber internet, they're gonna have to order it, because I'm paying for one. I'm not paying for theirs, right? And that's one of the things that we've said too, was the only bills that you're really going to have going to your cabin is electricity. You got to pay for your own electricity, and that's basically it, right? And if they want internet, they're going to have to pay for that. They don't necessarily have to do the super high speed one like what we're doing, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, definitely appreciate y'all for following in. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, why not give us that subscribe? It's greatly appreciated. Hit that thumbs up button, share us out, help us grow. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for following along on the trailer. and just the updates to the gathering house, right? So that's all I got for you. Check out this video right here if you'd like to stick around a little bit further. You have the whole year's playlist over on this side. Check out the icons at the top. That's how you can subscribe both here and to our side channel. And then last but not least, get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day. And we'll see you on the next one. Later, y'all.